What's up, people? In this video we are going to talk about the snake diet and experimentation and why it is very important to experiment and to test different I'm going to say techniques when it comes to the snake diet and fasting and also working out. All right, but this is more about nutrition, I would say, this video. Actually, we'll talk about fitness as well, because there's more options of things you can do with fitness. Anyway, we'll get into that right now, but if you have not subscribed, let's get to 1,000. I think I'm at like 985. Like, when is this going to happen? I know once I hit 1,000, everything's going to change. My life is going to be perfect, and we'll all live happily ever after. So like, don't feel bad if you're number 987 instead of 1,000. Like, I know you all want to be number 1,000, but you can't all be number 1,000. So let's think of the group, right? Okay, so also check out my digital marketing channel. I wrote a new article on my blog. I got a new copywriting course out for free. Links in the description. You can check all of that out if you want. Now, when it comes to the snake diet and really fitness in general, it's very important that you test lots of, modalities, let's call them. And this is something where if you are into fitness, if it's part of your life, you're going to be doing this anyway. Because, speaking from personal experience, I've been working out since I was 15, I think was the first time that I started going to the gym. And, when you do something for 10, 15, 20 years, you're not going to do it the same exact way that you did when you started. You're naturally going to try different things and experiment with different things along the way. And it's not so much about finding the perfect way to do things as it is trying 1,000 different things and pulling the most appropriate strategy from every little thing that you try and combining it into something, a master plan, let's say, that helps you achieve whatever goal it is that you specifically are trying to achieve. Okay, what does that mean? Let's unpack this a little bit. Well, I feel like a lot of people have the unfortunate belief that being fit or getting in shape is an event. And I've said this before, but being fit or getting in shape or losing 10 pounds, people speak about that like it's something that they want to achieve, like winning a race, or I don't know, what else do people achieve? Like similar to like making $1 million. You want to make $1 million, you want to, impress some girl. Whatever you want to do, you're thinking of it like an event, like a goal, right? And that's good. There's definitely a place for that. But when you talk about it like that, you're unconsciously telling yourself that that's the only thing you want, as opposed to saying, I want to start this habit, or I want to change my lifestyle in this way, which implies a more consistent set of behaviors, right? And when you have a consistent set of behaviors, you're going to consistently get a certain type of result. So I guess that wasn't really making things more simple. I think it made things more complicated. But anyway, when you're first starting out, I feel like a lot of people, what kind of stops them, and I do this too, of course, obviously, but what stops a lot of people from starting something is that they want to figure out the perfect way to do it. They don't want to do something new and get it wrong and then feel bad about having gotten it wrong. Like with fitness, I don't know. I feel like the main thing is people just being embarrassed about being fat in the gym. I could be wrong. Is that why people don't go to the gym who aren't in shape? Actually, let me know in a comment, why don't you go to the gym if you don't go to the gym? I won't yell at you and jump down your throat about it. I'm honestly curious. And because I just think it's about being embarrassed about being fat, but I could be wrong. But anyway, if you're waiting for the perfect opportunity to do something, then it's never going to happen. Okay, now I should actually take my own advice now that I think about it, because, as you can tell by this lovely alleyway, I'm in Japan, and I plan on being here for at least another 2.5 months, hopefully longer if I can get my visa situation sorted. And I know instinctively that I need to learn Japanese. I know that I need to, and I basically every single day say to myself, okay, today's the day, today I'm going to practice, today I'm going to learn. And I even live in it's called a share house, which is basically like a converted apartment building that has dormitory style living. Shit, there's wind. So, we've got 70 people in there, and I would say it's about probably 70% Japanese and 40% foreigners. So, I'm sitting in the living room every day for 8 hours on my computer. I have plenty of opportunities to learn Japanese. But the thing that stops me is that when I think to say something to them in Japanese, the maybe 10 words that I know how to say, I hesitate because my accent is wrong, I might get the word wrong, I might sound stupid, they're gonna laugh at me. And I know they don't care. I know like nobody actually cares, but it still stops me, you know? And I need to actually take my own advice and just be stupid, you know, and get laughed at or whatever it is, like I'm telling you to do, except with fitness. And you know, once you do it for a long enough time, you're going to, I guess, let's say you go to the gym and you start with just a basic, I don't know. Oh wait, we're supposed to be talking about fasting, not the gym. Well, anyway, last example, and then we'll go back to fasting. You start at the gym and you start doing the Nautilus machines, right? And you do those, you're there for maybe 3-4 weeks, and then, okay, you're kind of a little bit bored with that. Maybe you move to the free weights, maybe you take an exercise class, and along the way, maybe you see that, okay, the Nautilus machines, maybe those are good for warming up, good to like, you know, get the blood flowing a little bit. Maybe the free weights are good for like, you know, hitting things a little bit harder. And maybe the yoga class that you want to take is really good for flexibility. Maybe you learn a couple poses in there that you integrate into a more well-rounded fitness routine. Okay, now let's talk about fasting. Now, fasting is generally a much easier topic to talk about. It's much simpler because there's less moving parts than trying to figure out exactly how to work out and what kind of workouts to do and how your posture should be when you exercise and blah, 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 all the stuff that goes into that. So when it comes to experimenting with fasting, I would say that the main components that you want to think about testing are the foods that you eat and how long you fast. Okay, so currently, my current state of development is that you hear me talk a lot about eating raw meat. Okay, I'm always talking about, oh, I ate raw meat here, I ate raw meat there, I love raw meat, blah, blah, blah. Because I experimented with lots of different types of foods during my refeeds and my one meal a day, whatever I'm doing, and I noticed that I felt the best on raw meat, and I just, you know, had the least stomach issues, and it was almost like I wasn't even eating anything. Like I felt fasted when I was eating raw meat, but I was full. So, you know, it helps keep me lean. Like I don't have any stomach issues, like bowel movements are like totally fine, no issues whatsoever, and I just feel good. I feel like I have everything I need. Now, if I had never tested anything, then I wouldn't have discovered this. And actually I got the idea from watching one of Cole's videos where he ate like a giant beef liver and like ate like a stick of butter. I don't know, it was pretty crazy, but I saw that, I was like, holy shit, like this guy just ate an entire beef liver, like I can totally try this, like he's not dead, as far as I know. So yeah, definitely experiment. Like I'm not saying you have to go out and buy raw meat and eat that, but you kind of do, like you kind of should, just because it's that good, in my experience, okay? Another thing that I talk about that I find is very good is eating oatmeal with eggs during a refeed. But I would say that's very good to like lean you out a little bit. Like eating the raw meat will help keep you lean. Eating the oatmeal with eggs will also keep you lean. But in my experience, once I do it for maybe 2 or 3 days in a row, I start to lack a little bit of energy. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm like missing something that the meat provides that the oatmeal and eggs does not provide. I don't know, haven't really thought about it that much, don't really care, because I've done my testing and I know what works for me. So essentially, I feel like once you do enough testing, then you're going to have something that works for you and you're not really going to need to test anymore. I kind of feel like I'm at that point now, but I'm sure I'll watch this video in a year and I'll be like, oh my God, you ate raw meat? Like, how dumb you were back then. Yeah, what's up, Japanese people? Okay, so that was my video. Let me know in a comment what you guys would like to test when it comes to fasting or fitness, and then go out and test that shit. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, in order to test, you need to start. So if you haven't started yet, this is a great opportunity. And then actually one last thing, now that I think about it, there's a, like, if you want to like push yourself over the edge to starting something that you haven't started yet, a great way to kind of trick your mind into thinking that it's less significant, like reducing the importance of it, is to just adopt an attitude of curiosity. And I probably should have said this much earlier in the video, but when you have the attitude of curiosity and you think to yourself, what would happen if I did this, blah, blah, blah. It kind of helps detach you from any sort of like emotional whatever emotions that you have surrounding this issue, and it makes it much easier because you're approaching it in a more analytical way. Okay, so try that, get curious about whatever it is you want to do, maybe a new habit that you want to try. Ask yourself, what would happen if I did this? Let me know in a comment what you want to experiment with, and that's it. Peace.